So, you suck at Call of Duty, do you?
Sir, yes, sir.
You're dying 40 times a game over and over and over.
Yes, sir.
Well, he sent you here to Campers Boot Camp. We're gonna train you to go from this to this.
Enemy is securing Charlie. Split up. UAV is authorized. UAV entering the area. Waiting for threat.
Get down in the car, and give it all. Bust it open, huh? Let me see you try. Get down in the car, and give it all. Bust it open, huh? Let me see you try.
But sir, I already know how to camp.
Who said that? Which one of you said that?
Sir, I said it, sir!
You? Wasn't this you that I found in the map?
How'd you know I was there?
You can call me Camping Jesus, princess. But we ain't gonna do what little Johnny was doing back there. Caught with his dick in his hands. No. I'm talking about advanced camping tactics. Or what I like to call area control. I'm talking about openings, spawn flips, spawn anchors, spawn traps, playing mind games, multitasking, laning right, tilting the enemy, and heat. If you don't know what any of those terms are, then I suggest you grab some marshmallows. And are you going to subscribe to the channel? Well, welcome to Camper's Paradise. But first, we gotta get you armored up. For your perks, you're gonna need Bomb Squad, Resupply, and Ghost. Overkill is optional, and you can swap that out for the extra tack. For field upgrades, tack cams. Trust me, most people do riot shields. These people would be morons. Stims are crucial. Guns are your choice. I suggest a shotgun for the second pick, not as your main weapon. And of course, Claymores, baby! And we're taking you back to the basics. Here on Shoothouse, there are 2 openings of how to start the game. Can you hear me in the field there, son? I apologize for my strange music choice. I'm a jazz man myself, but this is the easy side to spawn on. All you're gonna do is run up these stairs, throw a Claymore down, and plant that booty, wait for these 2 guys to run through the door.
Okay, we all go together or we go one at a time.
Where's your friend? Come on out, Dwight Schrute. This is the hard side to spawn on. Many different things can happen as you rush to this shipment container. Sometimes you get lucky, and sometimes you get dunked on. Sometimes the enemy lets you hug them.
It's been a while since we shared a hug.
Sometimes the room is already occupied. And if it is and you are killed, then I will cover how to get back to this room in a minute without dying. But for now, place your Claymore here and dash towards the other room. You can either push out to the hall or lay down at the door with your shotgun, like the dirty, dirty camper you are. Now, while we wait for resupply and our attack cams to activate, you're gonna have these lanes to watch. The door, the window, and the hallway. Special note, you will always cover your back with your Claymore, allowing you to focus on the other 2 lanes. This is the most arduous part of the strategy, but once our attack cams activate, it gets a whole hell of a lot more fun. Tac cams are wildly powerful as they're active far longer than portable radars, and it's essentially like having a constant UAV on. Just don't forget to aim them. When resupply activates, you'll be able to block these 2 lanes, and we've officially entered mid-game, where everything changes. On this episode of Camper Confessions, we talk to a whistleblower from the Camp Boot Camp program. His voice and likeness has been disguised to protect his identity. You said that you were a student in Camper Boot Camp. Now, why did you expose the training program's footage?
I wanted to expose campers, and if I showed the world how we did it, then maybe someone would know how to beat them. Sometimes when you're staring at a wall for so long, you forget who you are. I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of what I've done. Claymore after Claymore after Claymore after Claymore after Claymore. I just wish I could run around the map like everybody else. For your next training exercise, I'm gonna teach you about spawns on Shoothouse, and also what to do when the whole team is rushing you, aka tilting the enemy and heat. I love the smell of claymores in the morning.
2 things to make constant notes of while you're playing. This is extremely important and something a lot of campers miss. 1, where your teammates are on the map, and 2, when the spawns flip or the enemies are rotating. These are the general spawn areas for Shoothouse. Now, every Call of Duty map since 2007 is split into 2 sections. If your team occupies the majority of your side, that's where the spawn anchor is, and you'll keep respawning in that area. With evil Shoothouse camping tactics, that means when the spawn flips, the enemy team is going to spawn in a giant rat king around here, so pay special attention to when there's a lack of teammates in this area. In this clip here, my team has pushed up too far, so I'm getting prepared for the enemies to rotate through and eventually start spawning on this side, giving them a clear path to me. As a dirty camper, our teammates are not there to get kills, they're there to die and tell us when an enemy is approaching. If their blip disappears, well then you know you better get some hot dogs roasting because you're about to have some company. Your teammates are moving UAVs, and you can use the lead man on the minimap to scout how close or far the enemies are. Use your teammates as human body shields.
Yeah, I like that.
It's horrible because you use them as a human shield.
Exactly. What else are you gonna do under the circumstances?
Don't you care about your team or winning?
Look, I'm not here to make friends.
Wow, you're a real piece of shit, you know that?
Yeah, you're right, I am.
How do you sleep at night?
With a claymore at the door and a tac cam on the window.
What made you this way?
I was homeschooled. Yeah. There's someone coming up behind you. You might want to get that. I'll get out of your way for this one. The longer you stay in this spot and keep amassing kills, the more heat you're going to draw from the enemy team. Hey, you're learning from me. Those are my moves, right on. The enemies are going to say, this guy is really pissing me off. So they're all going to start rushing you. This is where area control gets fun. You've got 2 to 3 lanes to watch, and the mistake people make here is clamping down and waiting. But the one thing you should be doing is playing mind games with the enemy to get them tilted. Say you kill an enemy standing here. He's gonna think that you're a simpleton camper and just gonna sit there in the same spot waiting for him again. Well, run back out to the hallway and get him as he's rushing up the stairs, then run back in into the other side. If you continue moving around your own personal shoot house, you'll basically be unkillable at a certain point. In the enemy's mind, you're exactly where you were standing last. If they're entering a room cold and can't see you on a UAV, you have such an advantage, and they will keep running in as you have got them totally tilted. There's 2 final very important tips I want to mention, along with how to defeat this strategy. I can't just, give away this knowledge without trying to help out some people. And also, what happens when you die? Which looks like it could be pretty damn soon coming up here. Don't stand at these windows, just don't do it. Unless you're peeking out at certain slots and you can catch an enemy off guard. Otherwise, you're just a free kill for them. Also, here's the reason I don't like ride shields. When you throw it down and get some kills there, the enemy sees the ride shield and they know that you're going to be planted at that station. So unless you're going to get a couple kills there and keep moving around, it's kind of a waste still to abandon it. Tac cams are just ultimate. Also, you're going to see that I'm dying a lot in this hallway. Well, the angle is so favorable for the enemies. They just get that headshot just perfectly as you see I'm running up the stairs here. So I'd use this hallway sparingly. I don't know the word. Final tip before we get into what happens when you die. I wouldn't camp here with the full team. 2 people max, unless you are randomly paired up with the famous Bazooka Brothers. You don't want too much heat for this spot. You kind of want to go under the radar with it all. Just enough to keep people pouring in, but not enough that the whole team is rushing you, 3 people from each side. But what happens if you die? or if your tac camera moves your body and the enemy can see you all of a sudden.
They took my spot, Lazarus. They took my spot. You're my...
Worst case scenario, you spawn on the opposite side, and in that case, don't run this way unless you want the storming the beaches of Normandy experience. There's 2 ways back. The first is to jump on these shipment containers and weave your route back home. The second is sometimes more perilous through the scrapyard. You'll see here, I'm using my teammate on the right as a UAV. I know where the enemy is, picking him out. These lessons from the video, come on! And I'm laying down here as I run through, because I know that the spawn anchor is still in this area. You can see on the UAV, they're still spawning around here. So I'm just chilling out before I beeline it back to the room. And there's a couple more kills. Yeah, I kick ass, okay? There's no big deal. But sometimes you just can't make it back to the room. Or the enemies have moved in like dewdrop spiders. They're so happy that they got your spot. And if you can't make it back to the spot and you keep dying and dying and dying, well then just leave the game.
He's going crazy.
Wrong. Just 2 days ago, if you could have heard a man, God,
Thank you, Dennis.
you were gonna call him crazy?
Fucking A.
Yes, us campers are real scum, there's no denying that. But I did promise to teach you how to beat us. And to beat us on shoothouse camping tactics, you just don't go in the room. If you enjoyed that video, this one's kind of similar, and it's probably better. Or you can just watch me dance as I talk about the KD ratios of using this method. Is that a 10.5 KD? Holy cow. What is this, 22 KD? Oh, baby. 20 KD, Mother Mary, get in here. 3.5, okay, sleep in that match, sleeping. Is that 3.6? Okay, that's some mental math there. Is this a 5 KD? That's a 5 KD, baby. That's what I'm talking about, gangsta style. Stupid.